Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
What happened there?
I was so obsessed with this all Malaysia Day. I saw a couple of people dressed up in the Malaysian flag just now in Jalur Gemilang.
Yeah.
With a songkok and everything during the parade.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of colourful and it's nice.
And if you are at the Merdeka parade, the Dataran Merdeka Malaysia Day parade, do a wave.
Yeah,
I
do
would
a
like
wave.
to say, do a wave.
Or tweet us at our tweet, and you can follow us at Breakfast BRTV and tell us why do you want to participate in this Malaysia Day parade and march. You know, maybe to see other people taking part. I guess I can see just now after looking at some of the visuals. Looking at some teenagers and also school kids participating in this event.
I think patriotism is much. It's easier to be, when you're a kid.
Yeah,
you get
to instill
easily
it when
influenced, and then you just join all these parades and everything because everybody else is doing it. And then as you grow older, and then you just find excuses not to go.
Yeah.
Don't you feel you doing that, Childa?
Yeah, I guess so.
you're just
You
finding
know
excuses.
what, Deepa? After this show, why not we join together and participate in this parade and just be a fan of Malaysia Day parade.
Sounds like a wonderful idea. We should do
Speaking on fan, are you a fan of Guinness World Book of Records? Coffee
Always.
table book, you can.
Always.
They have a program actually, a TV program. Well, the publisher of the book has announced the world records for 2012. All right, for 2012. So we heard that's a female with the longest tongue.
Tongue?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And one lady can crawl inside a tennis racket. Can you do that? Can you crawl and
Yes, I might break every bone, but I think I can do that.
Okay, we have a package on the World Guinness Book of Record for 2012. Let's take a look at this package installed. Guinness World Records announced its pick of the world records for 2012 on Wednesday. The publishers invited some of the holders to London for an award ceremony near the Parliament building. New Zealand entertainer Sky Broberg showed how she can crawl through a tennis racket and fold herself into a box the size of a small suitcase. Student Chanel Tapper from Texas was recorded as the female with the longest tongue, which measures 9.85 centimeters, 3.8 inches. She says it's quite useful for eating yogurt without a spoon. Telecoms computer expert Rolf Bulshoff, 52, showed some of the body piercings, 453 in all, which made him the world's most pierced man. And Udo Chrisman managed to get a tune of the world's largest playable violin, 7 times normal size with a bow, 5.2 meters, that is 17 feet long. Guinness World Records was started in 1955 by Guinness Brewery in Ireland and has appeared annually ever since, one of the world's all-time bestsellers. Earlier in New York, Chris Walton, self-styled Duchess from Las Vegas, Nevada, has become the new Guinness World Record holder for the world's longest fingernails after she says 18 years without file, clipper or scissors. Also included the longest line of skipping dogs and the fastest 1,000 martial art cards, both from Japan, an Englishman who has collected 571 versions of dialect robots from the Doctor Who sci-fi TV series, and the world's fastest wedding chapels on wheels.
Wow, have you ever measured your tongue before, Shilda?
I never measured my tongue.
Her tongue was almost 10 centimeters. That was 9.8.
And it's easy for her to eat yogurt. And I guess, without a spoon, I guess, it's nice for her to...
And it's easy for her to, aggravate some people, by showing like that. While you're driving.
Yeah.
And then you just want to irritate some people and you just show your tongue and instead of being angry, they'll be surprised.
I wonder her tongue can reach her nose.
It did.
It did?
It did.
Oh dear. That's really
not a
super
good
fantastic person. That's a wonder that she is one of the personalities in the World Books of Record, Guinness Book of Records. All right, moving on, we have some fashion entertainment news. Michael Kors presented his collection at New York Fashion Week, and where Hollywood listers were in attendance. And among them are Michael Douglas, who had a cancer scare last year. Okay, but before that, we have another fashion news from a New York Fashion Week, and his name is Phillip Lim, and he gets his inspiration from kites. Kites, yeah. And it's really interesting. Kites? And how do you do that?
You know what? I would love to see a fashion show where the models are strapped on kites, like giant kites. And then
You have interesting fetish, Deepa. All right, let's take a look at this package where Phillip Lim gets his inspiration from
a kite. Let's fly kites.
Growing up in suburban California, designer Phillip Lim would pass time as a kid making paper kites. Parents take note, the kite making went to good use. It has inspired Lim's spring collection, which he showed Wednesday in Soho. It was a succession of dresses, tops and other garments that fluttered and billowed across the runway.
It's really an evolution of girls on bikes, it's, and when I say that, it's literally just a reference, you know what I mean? But in the end, all the clothes are playing with geometry and using movement to have to find form, When you ride a bike forward, all the form is in the back and on the sides, and it constantly creates a temporal form, and it's always changing. Kites at the same time, we literally took a kite, the shape of a kite, the tails and everything. You saw kites on backs of garments. You saw kite tails trapped inside shells, you know what I mean? So with movement, with wind current, with the wearer, there was temporal forms forming constantly.
A kite backtop in magnolia and faded orange seemed to flutter back onto the neck of the model wearing as she walked, giving the garment a wind-swept effect. A kite tailtop had a sail-like sashes floating from the back. Some pieces were deceiving. What might look like a traditional little dress from the back had a kite-like sail in front, or vice versa, like two different garments altogether. Dresses or tops with folded layers were among the prettiest, most wearable offerings giving a nice depth and sense of layering. From the times when spring and summer turned chilly, there was a hooded parka, also with tails, and a number of coats that had removable sleeves. A large denim jacket with removable sleeves seemed to have a little too much heavy fabric in comparison to the offerings around it. But a light flash print draped dress had a lovely weightlessness to it. Lim attracted a hip crowd to his show with indie music figures like Binky Shapiro, Olan, Theo Hushcraft, Alexis Krauss, Tennessee Thomas gracing the front row.
Some of the designs were wearable.
Yep.
And maybe in the spirit of Malaysia Day, we have Zangtoy from Kelantan. We might have him doing WOW inspired.
In fact, Amri Lukman, our local designer, designed a dress or gown for our Deborah Henry for her to wear, for that pageant.
That was an exquisite piece. I was
it's a wow factor.
Yeah, it's an ensemble of so many things. It makes us Malaysian.
That's right.
We end this segment with an entertainment story. Are you a Glee fan?
I'm not actually. In fact, this is the 100th up 10 time people asking me, are you a Glee fan? No, I'm not. I do watch, but I'm not a fan.
Well, okay. Glee star Jane Lynch, she will host this Sunday's Primetime Emmy Awards. Now, in this story, Mark Burnett talks about why they chose Jane Lynch
from
Glee and what
Mark Burnett is the executive producer for The Voice. If you've heard of the singing competition, The Voice, Survivor, and also American Idol.
A lot of productions there he's involved in. So we shall have a look at this year's Emmy Awards, what we have installed.
Jane Lynch is no longer losing sleep over her Emmy hosting duties. Lynch has been hard at work backstage on the show with longtime pals Jill and Faith Soloway from Chicago. The trio previously worked together on Annoyance Theatre, the real-life Brady Bunch in the 1990s. Lynch played matriarch Carol Brady. The first-time host promised that the Chi-Town ladies would bring kind of a Chicago feel to Sunday's 63rd Annual Primetime Emmy Awards. The Apprentice and Survivor mastermind said he voted for the 50-year-old actress to lead the show even before clearing it with his alliance.
One of the most important choices an executive producer can make on a big award show like the Emmys is like a legendary giant award show was who's going to be hosting. And it's very important that the person has great live experience, stage, theatre experience, comedic and music. And I just felt my only choice that I wanted was Jane Lynch.
He came up to me, Mark came up to me before we took off. We were both on a flight going back to LA from New York. And he said, I'm doing the Emmys this year, and although I don't have the authority to offer it to you, if I did, would you say yes? And yes, because I'm a person who says yes. But of course, I immediately was like, I would have never said no. But I was afraid, and I'm still afraid. I'm scared to death. But that if you don't feel the fear, then there's no sense in living, right?
The Primetime Emmy Awards will take place this Sunday.
So this Saturday,
We
stay
can't wait.
glued to your TV screens, watch the Emmy Awards.
That's right.
What's your favorite program?
For Emmy?
Yeah.
I guess it would be a reality TV. I'm not sure right now, but all right, we have to take a short break. Coming up, we have some live tips. Too tired to wake up. You know, why do you feel a bit lethargic in the morning? Even you had that 8 hour sleep.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you just don't feel like waking up in the morning, right?
But we have to
Your
be a
mind
morning
is up,
person.
but your
Yeah.
body is still in the bed.
And another topic that we're going to discuss is why do we chase things that are hard to get? Why we love to challenge ourselves and to try to get something that we cannot obtain.
And also some office rules that you're meant to break.
Yeah, I love breaking rules. All right, we have to break some rules right now. We have to take a short break, and after this, me and Deepa will come back with all these life tips. After this, at